Hi, and welcome back to Spiritual Talks with Teal. This week's topic is going to be on resistance. So, this is a big one. This is probably one of the most important topics we could possibly talk about if you're truly on a journey to finding your happiest self, your most fulfilled life, because typically what is holding you back is whatever you are resisting. So, there's the cliche expression, right? Whatever resists persists. And there's so many of us that we understand that statement. We get it, it makes sense. But it's almost like the second we understand that statement, that then it like drifts and goes to the wayside and we don't actually connect into it and embody it. So this is something that I really want to talk about because this has personally impacted my life and where I'm at on my journey. And know that whatever success you're looking for in life is often found by doing the very thing that you are resisting. So I'm just going to pause there in that moment to allow that to fully sink in. So if you feel called to, if you feel this courageous moment to drop a note in the comments and let me know, what are you resisting? And let's do this together, because oftentimes so many of us love consuming content that either stimulates our mind or like gives us an aha moment, but very rarely do we actually act on the concepts that we're learning about. So this is an opportunity not just to consume this content, but to allow it to fully integrate into your being so you can actively act on it and make a change in your life to, at the end of the day, make your life improved, better, more successful, whatever it is. So let's go to the Wayback Machine. Last year, I decided, you know what? All the things I'm resisting, I'm just going to make a resistance list. So this could be your sign as well to make a resistance list. And this was really powerful for me because I basically was like, I'm going to put everything on this list that I'm resisting. I'm just going to do it all. Here's the thing, as like incredible as that can be, if our nervous system isn't regulated to allow us to do things that make us uncomfortable and like create that safe space within the body to do those things, when we just try to plow through the resistance list, like typically it doesn't always work because we'll go back to the reason why we're resisting it if that reason is bigger than life or like bigger than it should be. Needless to say, sometimes resistance lists can work for people. So I do also like highly recommend writing down everything you're resisting and then just doing one thing at a time, not necessarily everything at the same time. It's like with any new goal that we set, whenever we like strive really high for something, it like often like if we don't do the thing every single day, then we quit and then we stop. So the reason this is so important is like truly whatever we resist is the thing that's typically outside of our comfort zone. So our body likes to keep us safe, right? And so typically it's our mind that tells us, you can't do that because it's an unknown variable. You can't do that because it's outside our comfort zone. And so the mind isn't actually helping you towards success. It's not helping you towards expansion, but it's actually keeping you in the limited place and space that you're currently in. So if you're looking to find success in any area of your life or looking to up level, whether it's getting yourself out there in a new relationship, changing jobs, moving, perhaps starting a business, posting more online, like whatever it is, what is your soul's calling and why are you not doing it? The number one reason is always resistance. And why are we resisting it? Do we believe like, and it's really important to get to the limiting beliefs around the resistance and then decide if you want to give them power over you anymore. So this could be a really powerful journaling exercise. If you want to do this real time with me, is writing down your resistance list. Take a moment, you could pause the video, write down everything that you're resisting. It could be a morning routine. It could be changing up like your workout. It could be applying for a new job. It could be quitting your current job. It could be leaving the relationship. It could be moving. Like, what is it that we're resisting? Are we resisting looking at our past? Are we resisting looking at healing trauma? Like what's going on? And getting really, really crystal clear and write down on your list, okay, resistance list, all the things that I'm resisting. Then pick one. Pick one. Maybe perhaps not the one you're resisting the most, but maybe depending on where you're at on your journey, that might be the most challenging. You could pick an easy one. You could pick the most challenging one. It's completely up to you. So then just pick one off of that list. And then we're going to do a deep dive. And on a separate piece of paper, do almost like if you were to just write down that one thing that you're resisting, you can either draw lines underneath it and then start to think about all the limiting thoughts that are coming up as to why we're resisting it. So say, for example, if you want to start a business, do we have a full belief within the self? As an example, you could be like, don't necessarily believe it'll be successful. This will be really hard. It'll require too much hours. It'll, whatever it is. What is the inner dialogue or narrative around why you're resisting that thing that you are? Maybe you don't think that you're good enough. Maybe you don't think that you deserve something better. This pertains literally to anything, whether it's job, love life, like relationships, friendships, whatever it is. And maybe you think it's going to be too challenging for you if it's like a new workout routine. Start to literally write down all the thoughts that come up. Why am I resisting this specific thing? And write them all down. And then You can pause the video if you need a moment to write all these down. And then once you reach the space and place of like, okay, I've written down all the limiting thoughts that are coming up around this. Now it's time to rewrite the story. And so the first thing that you can ask yourself is simply, do you want to give these thoughts any more power over your being? And if the answer to that is no, then like, congratulations, you can shift it out as quickly as that. Everyone's a little bit different. So this is nuance for each person. So you can simply be like, do I want to give these limiting beliefs or thoughts power over me anymore? No. Okay. So then what do I do? Then you take action steps against the resistance. This usually looks like the exact opposite of the thing that you're resisting. So for example, if you're resisting posting on social media as an example to grow your business, then the opposite of this would be not listening to the inner dialogue around why. The opposite of this would be creating like a posting schedule and then sticking to it regardless of what the inner dialogue or thoughts are. So you can put this into any example or situation in your life that you're experiencing. And this is like, at the end of the day, if this is the only thing you ever took away from me, my channel, it would change your life. Because if you're able to overcome resistance in any area of your life, you can literally do anything. You can literally do anything that you put your mind to, as long as you release the resistance around it. And no, I always say this, and I don't love this expression, but for lack of better words, new levels, new devils. So it's like once you upgrade and elevate and ascend on your journey, each new level, you'll experience new levels of either resistance, setbacks, limiting beliefs, thoughts, and it's up to you to have the tools in your toolkit, your toolbox, to be able to rewrite the program, reprogram your subconscious mind, and allow yourself to release the resistance. At the end of the day, like it may be yours or it could be somebody else's that you've, allowed into your subconscious, whether it's family members or a teacher or your employer that's been telling you whatever type of thing that you believed about yourself, that you can't do this, it's not possible, you're not good enough, whatever it is, wherever the narrative is coming from, ask yourself, do you want to allow that power over you anymore? And if the answer to that is no, create an action plan on how to release the resistance, which, like I said, often looks like the opposite. So we'll do a little mini story time on how this has been impacting me. And as always, I always love to have the dialogue going. So if you want to share in the comments what you've been resisting and your action plan, even if it's one line on how you're going to overcome this resistance, I'd love to know. And it helps to keep you accountable as well. So we're doing this in real time. This isn't something that is meant to be consumed, then you toss it to the wayside. Like, please actively, if you want to make a change in your life, do it right now. Let's do it together and we can hold each other accountable. So mini story time around resistance. So this is why I feel so called to talk about this, because I have done so much work on my spiritual growth journey, ascending, reprogramming the subconscious mind, but there is like a certain project I've really been resisting. And the irony is the resistance around this project is directly correlated to the location where I'm living. And I've been living outside the country for many years now and found myself back in California. And I was just like resisting it so much for all these, all the reasons. We're not going to go into it. Living in the US, but that resistance I found was equal to the level of resistance of the project that I was resisting. And I kept wanting to know, like, how long am I going to be here for? How long do I need to be in this location for? And it's like needing to know the answer. Often also, like, the more we need to know the answer to something, the less that we will have it. The more that we surrender, the more the answer comes to us. So it's like the catch-22. The more you want something, the less that you have it. It is so annoying, but it's just one of the laws of the universe. So that all being said, I had this massive epiphany moment of like, wow, the whole reason I'm back in this specific location is to do the project that I've been resisting, and I'm resisting both the location and the project. And as soon as I release the resistance around both the location and the project, then I can start to move forward in my life and like move forward in my path. And also then I can move on and like move to a new location. But it's like very clear to me, like the downloads that I've received is like, as soon as I accomplish the project that I meant to in this place and release the resistance of the place and the project, then I can then move and transition onto a new location. So wild. And it was this epiphany of like, wow, I've literally been like fighting being in this location for like 8 to 10 months, only to realize that whole entire time I was equally fighting and resisting the project that I need to do. And those are being mirrored to each other of like the resistance on both. And if I just focused, like if I had mentally known, if I do the project that I'm resisting, I then can like move on to like a new location or move or travel or whatever after being in this location that is not like what I prefer. If I would have known that those were related, I would have taken like overcoming the resistance so much more seriously on the project. And so having this epiphany now, it's so wild to me because we are truly the only thing that's holding ourselves back. And this is such an important reminder at the end of the day, like stop comparisonitis, stop comparing your life to somebody else. If somebody has what you want, instead of being jealous of, be inspired by, but truly we're the only thing holding ourselves back. And it's so wild. It's really just a game with yourself and like up-leveling yourself, almost like it's like a video game on your journey. And at the end of the day, it comes down to what are you resisting? Be honest with yourself. What have you been putting off? What is something that's been on your to-do list that you just haven't been doing, you haven't been accomplishing, or you've been really wanting to, or a big shift and change that you know that you need to make? The more that we resist something, the bigger the resistance gets. And so it's really important to, like, as if it's a balloon, deflate the ego, but also deflate the resistance and stop giving it power over you anymore. It's time to take your power back. Let me know in the comments if this was helpful for you today, and make sure to like and subscribe. And until next time, see you soon.